another PTP Fishing, another holiday edition. So to say that the weather has not really been very kind to me so far would be an understatement. We've had 20, 25, 30 knots worth of winds the last 2 or 3 days. So sort of cut short a few of my things that I wanted to do. So there was a bit of a wind window or weather window this morning here, so I've decided to just come down to the Pine. Haven't fished the Pine River or the salt water for ages, so really looking forward to doing something a little bit different and hopefully find a few fish. At the moment the wind's a little bit stronger than it was supposed to be. Got a little bit of wind against tide at the moment, so hopefully that sorts itself out in a little while. We've got a high tide in a couple of hours. Target species are basically most probably flathead, brim, tailor are the dominant ones this time of the year. We'll see how that goes. I've got a few plastics that I'm trying and doing a testing booth for the magazine as well, so I'm going to be putting those through their paces today, but I'll show you those a little bit later when we've got a bit more light. So welcome to another PTP Fishing. Let's see how the Pine River fishes this morning. There we go, there's first fish. That's not what we were quite hoping for the first fish. There we go. It's more like a flathead. Little flathead, but a flathead. Awful lot of effort. I'm quite surprised actually that I haven't had more bites, but just got to keep trying, don't you? So, quite a reasonable brim. So there you go, there's a nice brim that I've just caught. Just realised I wasn't filming. He'd be high 20s I reckon, so not a bad fish. Fish. Feels more like a flathead this time though. No, still a brim. Hey. That was a bit of a more of a subtle take than the last one. Oh, at least it hasn't taken me an hour to get another fish. Not a bad brim either. Oh, lift your head. Get in that net. Thank you. So there that last fish is. Like I said, it's not massive. It'd be most probably 30 tipper again, but at least I've caught a fish within most probably 10 minutes or 5 minutes of the last one. So I'll get the hook out of him, quick tag, and we'll let it go. There we go, next cast. This definitely feels like a flathead this time, but it's not. It's just, or is it? No, it's brim again. There you go, 2 and 2 casts. No, not under the boat. There you go. Oh, that's a bit more exciting, isn't it? So g'day folks, welcome to another PTP Fishing, and it's the day after my trip to the Logan River. It was meant to be a lay day today, but this is by far the best weather since I've been on holidays, so I thought I'd very quickly duck off to Enoggera Reservoir. So it's only 5 minutes up the road from home. This is the least wind we've had in an entire week, so I really don't know how Enoggera is going to fish. I don't think overly well, but you got to be in it to win it. So let's see how we go today. Bit of an impromptu trip to Enoggera Reservoir. Oh, wow, wow, freaking wow. Don't tell me you've got a fish. Oh, dude. I've just... Oh. I was trying to untangle it. Obviously did untangle. I've picked up a fish. There we go. Oh. Oh. Sorry, that wasn't very spectacular as far as getting footage for the camera, but it's a no donut trip. That's a good solid fish too. Anyway, I'll get him out of the net and I'll show him to you. So there you go, fish number one. Must admit I wasn't really expecting too much, so that's a bit of a bonus fish. And again, not much of a technique either. It was the lure was wrapped up, so as I unwrapped it, it obviously came unwrapped, and this fish has grabbed it. So technique wise, zero. Fish wise, absolute positive. So it's truly been a week of PBs and bigger fish. So 365 or 36.5 centimeters, so that's beaten my Enoggera biggest bass by 1.5 centimeters. Beautiful healthy fish. Obviously they're enjoying the winter months. They've sort of got that big fat belly about them. Anyway, I'm not going to keep him out of the water too much longer. Off he goes. Hopefully I can get a few more of them. They were just out there somewhere, so let's see how that goes. There we go. Gotcha. A matter of finding that technique. So that was a bit of a rip and burn. I've caught him in the tail by the look of it. I have too. That's all right. It was obviously, just proves that the sound is showing me fish. So sorry buddy, hook through the tail. G'day folks, welcome to another PTP Fishing, and what a great day it is. So I'm in my second week of holidays and I finally got a day like this. I've had a sleep in, I've got a windless morning. I was going to go to Maddock Dam. I decided, did I want to drive an hour and a half? No. So I've come back to Kawangbar. So I love this place. The potential of this fishery is fantastic. And obviously there's been some good fish caught, so I've been getting a lot of fish in that sort of 40 centimetre plus range, which hasn't been here in the past. It's always sort of been a good fish was 40. Now I'm getting 45s, and obviously in that last trip, 47 centimetre fish. Also, I got that tag fish, and that's where I want to head to now, is where I caught that tag fish, because I think that area has a little bit of potential. A little bit of information on that fish. So that fish was caught by Steve Nash, so a good friend of mine, does a lot of fishing in these local urban lakes, and catches plenty of fish. He's pretty good on the Pine River as well. So that fish was caught about 15 months ago. It was 37 centimetres tip length, now 40 centimetres tip length. So 3 centimetres in about 15 months, pretty good growth rate. Thanks for tagging it, and that fish is back in the water and will give us more information. So back at Kawangba this morning, late start, hopefully some good fishing. Let's see how we go. Oh, there's a fish. There you go. So definitely a new area for me here at Kawangba. There's my first fish. Doesn't feel like he's overly big, but first fish is always a good fish. This is come on. There you go. We're on the board. There you go. So my observations from the last time I was here were good. When I was paddling through here, heading back to the launch point, looked at this and thought, oh, this really does have a little bit of potential. So it's only a little fish, 27 centimetres, but never going to complain about getting a fish in the first 5 or 6 minutes of fishing. I've been fishing for a very, very long time, to the point where I actually stopped filming. Finally, so I'm basically just going to places now that I've never fished before, or very rarely fished, and I've picked up a fish. Again, not a monster, but that's a nice fish. So there's a very welcome fish, 32.5 centimetres. It's mostly 2.5 to 3 hours since I caught that last fish, so go on right at the start, and now I'm happy with a 32.5. Anyway, the tag's in. So the big question now is, can I catch any more? So that's it for another PTP fishing. I hope you've enjoyed the video. The bits you haven't seen yet videos are a bit of fun to put together. It's just a nice way to throw a few pieces of footage together. So hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time from PTP Fishing. See ya.